Let me start out by saying, wow. We coming into the game, the one thing that we said was we're hoping that they would miss some shots. Now I know how Austin Peay felt last year when we broke an NCAA record hitting 23s in a game. But the difference is that I didn't feel like we were ever out of the game until the last couple of minutes. I give them a lot of credit. They hit a lot of shots. There's no denying right now we're certainly slacking on defense, and they certainly exposed us tonight with their dribble drive. And defensively, they made believers out of us in the first 5 possessions where they shot the ball, and I felt like we had to stay with our men, and you really had no help in a lot of instances, and it exposed us. And we got to keep working. I know the responsibility falls on me. We have not been a good defensive team. It's something we stress every day. You spend all of our time on the defensive side of the ball and still go out and not as good as we want to be. But the good news is this is what I told our team. I said the thing you got to do right now is you got to keep your blinders on and your earplugs in. There's a lot of basketball to be played. We still have a good team. It's a pride thing. It's a pride getting down and guarding somebody. I think that's first and foremost. But I do think we had some good performances. I thought offensively we were very patient. We shot the ball well. We took some high shots. And I mean, if you look at this stat sheet, and I know that this doesn't mean anything after a loss, but if you look at the stat sheet and I tell you that we're going to out-rebound them 31-23, we're going to shoot 57%, almost 58% from the field. We're going to shoot free throws 80% tonight, shoot 16 out of 20, and really get to the line. You would probably think that we're going to win. But that's not the case. Again, it goes back to Belmont's a very, very solid basketball team. I think you can ask North Carolina. They have some quality wins, and they have been good. I think they're 17-2 in 2 years in conference play right now. And so they got it going, and I think everybody's chasing them. But we still got to have more pride defensively. We've got to get out and guard people. And right now it's kind of a catch-22. Some of our better offensive players are not as good defensively, and it's kind of a catch-22. And, the bench solves a lot of problems in a lot of ways. Sometimes when you're not giving me that effort, that bench has to play a role. But I don't think that was the deal. I don't think, I can't fault my guys tonight's effort. I thought our effort was good. I thought we did some good things. I was pleased at half. And I told them, I said, I don't think they can shoot like that again in the second half. And then they did. They certainly made believers out of us. But the bottom line is you got to have pride in defense, and you got to stop people to beat people. And right now we're not there. We're not as good as we need to be defensively. And with that, I'll open up questions.
So you're mentioning you're focusing a lot on defense in practice.
Tell me that again.
You're obvious. You say you're focusing a lot on defense in practice. So is this a situation where you like what you see, what you practice, and then the execution's just not there in a game, or is it a situation where you have to get better in practice, better overall?
Well, I think that's a great question because I don't really like what I see in practice.
Okay.
We're trying to stay solid in practice, trying to get better. I think the effort really is good.
Okay.
We make some good plays, but we don't sustain it. So it's hard to say that we're doing it in practice and carrying it over. No, we're not. We're not as good as we need to be, even in practice. We're not natural defenders. We've got to have that. We have a mentality of scoring the basketball. We have some scorers in our minds, and it's just not coming natural to us. And it's something we got to keep working on. We got to keep harping on, and we got to play the defensive guys and try to hide our best offensive guys that maybe are not as good defensively. So, hey, we're gonna keep plugging and keep working on that. And I do feel like the sun's gonna shine on this team sooner or later. And I know it's disappointing, but it is where we are.
Right. Do you see the desire that you want for them to get better and just not the execution, or do you think they have to buy into it a little more?
Well, I think they have to buy into it better.
Okay.
I think they have to have that defensive mentality where I feel like that we don't. I feel like that we run downhill on offense and uphill on defense. We get really, it's like a kid in a candy store. We get really excited when we go play offense. And we're really executing, and we're trying to screen well, we're trying to post up well, we're trying to penetrate and kick well, we're trying to share that basketball. I mean, we had 17 assists tonight. That's tops in the country. But it's the defenses when we're running downhill, or we're running uphill on defense. It's like, oh man, here we go. You know, we don't have that confidence. And I think it's confidence. I really do. I think defense is not only a desire and a buy-in, but it's confidence. It's relying on your teammate. You know, if I'm guarding you and you beat me off the dribble, I got to know that I have 4 guys that are helping me. It's all those things. And hey, it's not anything that we're unaware of what's going on. It's just something that we have to be just repetition every day in and day out, and understand that you got to play defense first. And it certainly did expose us tonight.
Obviously, you've made a change to your starting lineup, and Langford makes you look real smart to not get out of the first score in the first 11 points. Can you give an idea of what you think, why that was a good idea? Why do you think it's working to kind of at least solve
I just think that sometimes, like I said, I think that we have some really offensive-minded players. I think, let's talk about Tyler for a minute. And Tyler knows I talk about this. We've had our meetings with this, one-on-ones and everything else. Tyler puts so much pressure on himself to score. He thinks, I gotta score. When really he doesn't. All he has to do is play great defense and rebound and let the scoring come in. Tyler's one of the best players out on the floor. But he does have to understand that you're going to share that basketball. You're not going to take ill-advised shots, and he understands that. I thought we got out of the block twice. 2 games in a row, we got out of the block a lot better. Obviously, Josh was outstanding tonight. I mean, what was he? 10 out of 10 from the field. I thought he was really, really good. Very aggressive to the basket. Getting to the basket, he got us out of the block well. He's strong. He's physical. He's been bothered with some injuries, and so his conditioning is not as good as it needs to be. But I just think he's going to get better and better. I think Darren Gray came in off the bench and did some good things. Lucas hit some good shots. We had some good performances tonight, but hey, we were outscored tonight. We couldn't stop anybody. We just couldn't stop anybody, and that's the bottom line.
Right. Does it think it wears on? Is it maybe this is just something people like me dream up, that you kind of fall behind early, or behind that 5 to 10 points in the whole game? You're trying to play catch up. Do you think is it fair to say that wears on us?
Oh, I think we're getting better. I think we're feeling better about ourselves. I think we're getting better. We're starting to understand a little bit how to play, and and not take ill-advised shots. I mean, that's my biggest pet peeve is you shoot bad shots, you're not going to play. I thought Tyler took 1 bad shot tonight. He took a 3, his air ball. It's just not him. He's got to get on that block and be my inside strong body. And we got a couple of things accomplished today offensively. We got to the free throw line more than them. They're one of the top teams in the league getting to the free throw line. We kept them off the line until the last 5 minutes, and we did a good job getting to the basket. So we did some good things. But again, I think the sun's going to shine on this team one of these days. One of these days, we're going to come in here with a happy spirit, and I'm very confident in our team, and I'm not pleased with our defensive performance, but hey, it is what it is, and you got to face it. And life's not easy, and the game's not easy in a lot of ways. I mean, you got to fight with all your might, and you got to be all in. And I'm not saying that we're not. I'm just saying that you got to focus in on the defensive side of the ball. And we're going to get right back out there tomorrow and play as hard as we can defensively, and try to carry that over to a Tennessee State team that, I know they only won 1 game, but they've been close to a lot of games. They lead the league in field goal percentage, defense. They guard you. If we don't show up, then we won't win.
Right.
So hopefully we can get on the winning side.
That was my last question, was that obviously you have a short turnaround now, not much time to think about it, and a team with a not so good record coming in after you play these 3 big names. So how do you make sure they get refocused and ready to play on Saturday now?
I do think that, and I'll step out on a limb here, but I do think our team understands that our back's against the wall. Okay. We're getting off to an 0-3 start in our conference. Certainly puts everything in red alert, so you better start taking care of your home business. And I think we'll come out and play as hard as we can. We gotta play defense. Just gotta get ready. We gotta prepare for them, and let's just see if we can get on that winning side. I do think that if we could get that little boost of confidence that we need, I think that this team could possibly be dangerous. But until we can change our mindset defensively, we're going to struggle, and people are going to expose us. So we've got to get better.